So for now, there isn't any question, but I would just like to start by tell a common question that comes up. I would like to just share it and you can share amongst your friends. Is how do I get to Balosegha accommodation from the airport? So in every airport in the UK, there is a Wi-Fi. So even if you're coming with a Nigerian line, as long as you're on WhatsApp and you've got the app on your phones, once you get to the airport, there are two options. We usually would advise you go with Uber Drive. It's a lot cheaper and it will be faster to pick you. The other option is Trinity Cab. Trinity Cab uh, is an organization that has a cab company in Manchester. So if you call them, they'll tell you how much it's going to cost you and how soon the driver will get to you. But from experience, we know that Uber Drive is cheaper. All you need to get the Uber is the Wi-Fi. But if you need to call Trinity Cab, you must have a landline, a number that you can use to call. So you must have something like a UK or one particular app that can call UK numbers. So that's that about that.
Again, to add to that, if you need to get a UK line, I know a lot of people order to the house they go to. You might just in the shop walk into any shop and pick up a UK SIM. It's 99p and £5 of top up or thereabouts. Sorry about that. So you can do that. That goes easy.
So somebody has asked a question here. Imitini Benjamin. Good evening to everyone. Thanks for the Q&A session. I'd like to know, does NHS or any other trust offer accommodation, or one has to always source for accommodation by his or herself? So very good question, Benjamin. I would say not all trusts have accommodations. Some trusts would convert some I've seen hospitals that use old clinics as accommodation. Most hospitals we have a private public partnership where a trust will say, this organization, Balosegha, will give you a land close to the hospital. You build the accommodation. We send you people, our staff. So you're going to, after building it, we work together for 25 years, after which you can take full control. So most of the staff are directed to the place. But the thing about those accommodation is they majorly cater for singles. So if you're coming alone, good. If you say, oh, I need for myself and my wife, then they say no. Having said that, I know hospitals that would then say, we don't have accommodation, but go to this agency and tell them you're from us. And these agencies would help get accommodation. It's usually very difficult when you come for the first time with family. So not all trusts have accommodation. The few that have would majorly offer to a single, or the family accommodation will be very, very competitive. But you can still always find your way by speaking to people who walk around the area, making posts. You can also send us information, the details on balosegha@yahoo.com. And if I've worked in that trust, I can tell you what of things. If I know friends around, I can link you up. Likewise, Victoria and Bobby. Bobby is upcoming mayor of Manchester.
Amen. I was going to add that too, because some people have come to meet us at different times. Do we have a property in so and so, or do we know somebody? Yeah, even if we don't have, we'll try and see what we can do, guide and everything. So again, when you're relocating, we'll advise maybe you should just come alone first, and your family, if you're married, join you maybe 3 months later or thereabouts, so that it won't be stressful for the family, at the beginning. So that's all about accommodation. Very good.
I would also add to it, Bobby. Balosegha started as PLAB. But I can tell you categorically
We have
that
extended our
over the
reach.
last 2 years, we've done PLAB, we've done GP people, we've done PLAB1, we've done USMLE. We've had people who've used Balosegha for PLAB2, got jobs in UK, came to do locum in Manchester, stayed with us. We've got people who come for masters,
Yeah.
and they just tell us we're stranded. Can we just get a place? So the good thing about those master people is they need a letter from a previous landlord. So we provide accommodation for them, but we don't like to have people for more than 3 months. So by the end of that 3 months, they've gone to see different houses. Then the new landlord tells them to say, come with a letter from your previous landlord. So Balosegha says, oh, this person stayed with us for 2 months, paid at the right time, was a very good tenant, we would recommend. And then they move to the next place and they keep on sending more people back to us. In fact, 1 or 2 of our houses is now entirely to masters. So you can always contact us too if you're in Manchester. And by God's grace, if you come to West Sussex, Northampton, or Watford area, we can sort you out. Balosegha is expanding fast. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. There's a question from Onyida Mola Olanrewaju, says, I recently got a job in pediatrics emergency as an FY2. What career options can I pursue after completing my contract?
Congratulations. Congratulations on this job. You've done really well getting into pediatric emergency. So I would say, like I said to somebody who I took on NHS job search, we actually found some pediatric jobs. So if you get pediatrics and pediatrics is your thing, this is the time to get all the necessary requirements to get into training. If pediatric is not your thing and it's GP, I can tell you, you can get everything you need to get into GP within 3 to 6 months of pediatric emergency. Now, if you can answer the question, what's your interest on the chart, then I can focus what you need to do within that 1 year of FY2. Oyindamola, if you can just put in the chart, what is your goal? Because in the UK, you must come with a goal. When I got to UK 2013, I just wanted to make money. Within a year or 2, I was done to say, I'm not doing. So you want to get into adult emergency, fantastic. So as soon as you get into pediatric emergency, occasionally the pediatric emergency is a small part of the adult. Just get to know the people working in the adults, okay? Get to speak to your colleagues in there and say to them, who is a nice guy who is top of the adult emergency? And then they'll tell you, oh, Dr. Bobby is very nice and approachable and he can help you. So what you need to do is get closer to Dr. Bobby or get one of your bosses who likes you to refer you to Dr. Bobby. And then you tell Dr. Bobby, I've been working here for the last 3 to 6 months, and I'm really keen on getting into adult emergency. Boom. It's easy because pediatric emergency is far more competitive and more difficult than adult. So they even want your knowledge. They don't want you to leave. So he will tell you what he needs and they will help you in. As soon as a job, trust grade job comes up, just go for it. And then if you want to move from that trust adult medicine into training, then that's fine. I hope I've answered your question.
I hope that's clear, Onida. Let's hope that is.
There is a question from Frank Uche. Thank you for organizing this Q&A forum. I would like to know, how does one tailor his CV to the entire NHS employer, to entice NHS employers? That's good. What factors can help bridge the long wait between the time of passing PLAB 2 and in securing the first job. Okay, so let me start from the second one because I think that's easy and straightforward. I don't believe that there should be a long waiting period between Plan 2 and the exam. The only limiting factor is the GMC registration. Once you crack the GMC registration and you do the right thing, if there are 7 jobs online, there's no reason why you shouldn't be picked. Now, once you are invited for the job, it now also depends on you getting the job. If you get the job, it now depends on they providing you COS, and all those delays can follow. But there's nothing you can do about those delays. The major one you can control is how soon do I entice NHS workers, and how soon do they invite me, and how do I do well in the interview. So that takes me to the first question. How do you entice them? Okay, I'll put it this way. We don't routinely write CVs in Nigeria, and that makes our CV very poor. I've gone through maybe more than 250 CVs. The same repeating, there are few, maybe 1% I will say, oh, fantastic from Nigeria. But a lot of things are missing. Sometimes we undersell ourselves, sometimes we're shy, sometimes it's just the structure. In 30 seconds, if I look at your CV, I should know what's your strengths. If I cannot in 30 seconds know what you're talking about, then it's going into the bin. When there are jobs, there are more than maybe 150 to 250. So they'll give it to the first person. He just wants to be trained them out to say who convinces me in 30 seconds. And then he puts them apart. The rest does bin. Then he now gives the pile, maybe 25, to another person to say, of this 25, let's invite 10. Then that one's short, yeah. So what you need to do is, it's a simple trick. You need to understand what they are looking for. What they are looking for will be in the job description and person specification. So for example, the job says there was a job we looked at with somebody who booked us for NHS job. The job says trust doctor urology. It says you want someone who can teach the juniors. So if your CV doesn't have can teach juniors, then you need to insert it under some heading. You want someone who is very fluent and can communicate well. So those words, you need to go put it back in there. Now, the job is urology. You need to go to your house job, and under your surgery posting, you need to insert urology procedures. You need to talk about management of urology emergencies. Do you understand? So they will tell you different things at different times. Job specification also stated that they want someone who's done research. Rather than keep quiet on research, you say, even though I've not done researches, I understand the basis of this and this, and I understand the good medical practice in research. So those are the things you have to put there, and they know once they see it that, okay, this guy has taken this time to read the nitty-gritty of our job advert, and we will take him. We would consider him, okay? Unlike somebody who just takes one CV to apply for 200 jobs, they won't call you. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's all for now. I think somebody's typing a question. Not a problem. So still on CV, I mean CV, it cuts across boards. One thing I know, because I have a business analyst background, one thing I know about CV is once the employer sees your CV, they're looking at some certain words. Like Sherry said, you need to sell yourself. We're not saying you should lie, or sell yourself. What you can do, you amplify it so well. Okay, what you're strong in, the SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. So your strength, you will magnify it so well. Even if there are only 3, you will say it as if there are 33. And that's what you major on. and then you say one thing in 3 different ways. All right, you put it there. Very short words, precise. Like I said, 30 seconds, they see your CV, they know this guy, I need this person. Yeah. So we'll come back to that. Oyinda said something again. My stay at Balosegha was blissful. I wish there was one in Leicester where I'll be working soon. Okay. Balosegha reviewed my CV for free and held a session on how to ace your interview. Sorry. I'm blessed to know this organization. I'll be delighted if I could get more information on university, hospitals, Leicester, especially with respect to the city, if they offer accommodation.
I can talk about Leicester because I've been there. I've been all over the UK, essentially. So, are you going to LRI, Leicester Royal Infirmary? If yes, there is an accommodation. I think it's run public-private partnership, but you have to let them know very early that you will be coming, because it's always very competitive to get something. So it's just opposite. You won't walk up to 5 minutes to get to the hospital. I was there 2017.
Okay, I think that's that. So be encouraged, write your questions. There is no wrong question, and there's no stupid question. There is no laughable question. Feel free to ask, because you're going to relocate to a new country and you need all the information that you can get. Okay, it can be anything at all. So I said something earlier before I stopped. Once you get to the airport, coming to Manchester for the exams, and you need to get a SIM, just walk into any shop you see. Sometimes I know they do give SIMs at Moritala Mohammed Airport, Lebara or Laika. If you see any, or ask her and grab one. You never can tell. You might be lucky. Yeah, I've traveled a few times where it does. Even though I just take and bring for somebody as well. So if you're in that situation, grab one. That can be very helpful for you as well. So Inda has answered you, Shay. I said I sent a mail to the accommodation department and I'm waiting for an answer. Truth is, you're not the only one that will send that email. So there'll be lots of people. So you should be on their neck and then make sure that you try and get the best that you can. All right. So that's that for now. Okay.
So Oyinda, one other thing you can do is, if you send this information to Balosegha, I'll go through my old email and try to look for their boss email. Sometimes those guys, they don't respond very early, but once it gets to their boss, the boss will just tell someone to say, can you sort her out today? And then they will do it. So I'll look for their boss, because I know this, unless the person is left, I know their boss who worked there for quite a while.
Awesome. That's good. So we're still taking questions. If you have questions, feel free to take
in the meantime, also, I would like to say thank you to everyone who has booked Balosegha. Thank you for being ambassadors to Balosegha. In as much as Balosegha is growing, we're expanding, we're employing more people, the workload is also increasing. So when people want to book Balosegha, we always advise that they go first to the balosegha.co.uk. If then you have any problem, then you can email us to say, I've been to the website, I cannot find my entire period of stay. Could you please help? And then we can do some room swaps and everything, and then we can accommodate you. The problem we find most times is people just call. When you call, Bobby may not be on the phone there, on the computer then. I may not be on the computer then. It's difficult to remember numbers. And we get bookings about 30 to 40. So the first thing I would say is try and go to the website, see what is obtainable, And then if it's not enough, then get to us and we can take it from there. Bobby, you want to add something to that?
Yes, it's very, very important to do that. I've just put the website link there as well. Um, it's very important. So feel free, tell others if you want to make inquiries. I know there's referral by or contact Bobby. I totally understand. We appreciate that. Don't get me wrong, but we're saying it's easier. It's a lot easier when you just go to the website and book. And if you have any issues, then you can come to us. But more often than not, it's a straightforward thing, to be honest. Very straightforward as well. Whilst we're still waiting for other questions, again, we will continually to organize diverse educational series, not just locked into how to get a job or interview. Not that they are very fantastic, but we're also going into the legal aspects where we will have a few discussions about how you as doctors um, understand your legal rights and legal extensions and legal do's and don'ts in the UK when you start working, so that by the grace of God, with this knowledge and information, by the grace of God, you will not enter into any issues whilst you're working in the UK. Because many people have done a few things unknown to them that it is illegal, and nobody ever briefed them. So very soon we will have that. It probably will be at the beginning of next year, which is just around the corner anyway. We will do that, and a series of other things as well. We tend to make sure that we bring the best for you on different topical issues to make sure that you get the best, definitely. So it's not just about accommodation, it's a one-stop bus stop where you get almost everything and everything to get the best for you. So look out for that and continually be our ambassador as you've always been. So thank you very much again on that. Yeah.
Also, this question and answer, we will do our best to bring it on like every fortnight. So there will be pressing issues that you want to ask someone who's been in the UK, or pressing issues you want to find out more about accommodation, your visa status, um, references, and the job you might have gone online today and you're not sure whether to apply for the job or not. Myself and Victoria were here to help out. There was the last time we did, I think the second to the last, there was someone who couldn't find any public health jobs. And he posted it, and I said, okay, I've got a few friends. I sent him to those friends, and those friends said, oh, it's very difficult getting on. Victoria went for another conference, met someone doing public health, spoke to the person to say, oh, and we've got someone looking for this job. And that was the connection. Victoria got the contact. We sent it through Balosegha to that person, and he sorted. So UK is also about connection. I can remember about 2.5 years ago, a lady from nowhere just said, oh, somebody gave me your number. Please, I need a job. I've been looking for a job. I think she said more than 9 months. And she was getting frustrated. She said she was even getting depressed. So I said, okay, let's start from the CV. I looked at the CV. I said, this CV, you didn't write it well. Maybe that's why. Then after going through the CV, I met one friend in the hospital. And that friend happens to be in internal medicine. So I said, well, I even have this CV with me, and you are in internal medicine, you can even fine tune it. So I gave it to this other friend at work, and then the person texted me to say, is she still looking for a job? I can speak to my boss. I said, that would be nice. Within less than 5 or 7 days, the girl contacted me to say, I've been called for interview. She was crying. So it's all, UK is also about connection.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Again, just a yeah, go ahead, Victoria. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to add, if we know that yes, sometimes people are waiting in UK to get a job and they feel that that time they want to spend that time getting a clinical attachment. If you are one of such people or you know people that are interested, you can ask them to email us as well, and we'll see what we can do about it as well, because we've been able to help a few people who are still waiting in UK to get clinical attachments.
Good. Awesome. I was going to add, just last week of October, just let us know Balosegha turned 2 years. So just continually pray for us. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. We have videos, and we'll keep adding videos there as well. So it's very, very easy. Just go to our YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type Balosegha, and subscribe. Very easy as ABC, to be honest. And you'll see lots of previous videos we've done. This one also will be there, and yeah, we'll get it done. We're also on Instagram. Yeah, Shaya has just posted it. YouTube Balosegha, Instagram Balosegha, also on Facebook as well. And yeah, we will make sure that we will do all the best to get all these contacts and videos on our social media platforms, so everyone, so that we all can gain from this. It's all about opening up, voicing out. It's all about speaking out and saying, look, I need this, I need this. What can I do? How can I get this help? We don't have all the help, but the little we have, we'll definitely pass it on to everyone. All right. So yeah, that's it. Any other question?
Before any questions come in, I just want to say, when looking for jobs, obviously you want to get a good offer, you want to get in the field that you're interested in. But I think it's also important to think of the area where you are going to. It's not always the best idea to come into the UK and go into an isolated area. Because you need that network, you need that connection with other people. So just as you've asked here, I know there are other groups. You can ask, if you've been given a job, try and find out about the place. Is it diverse enough? Is it a supportive trust? If you ask us as well, if we have the information, we'll let you know. But we know that people have crashed and burned when they've gone into very isolated areas. It's stressful already moving into a new country, but then moving into a place where you're all alone, you're isolated, you don't know how the system works, it makes it much more difficult. So please try and put this in mind, while you are looking for jobs and accepting job offers. Many people are coming in with their families, which I think, can be a good idea, because that will help you to feel less isolated. So if that is possible as well, you can have a think about it when coming in.
And
okay.
If you're coming for the first time to Manchester, you got a job in Manchester, just contact Balosegha to say, do you have something? You need a soft landing.
You definitely
need a soft landing. Definitely. If you start, it's going to be rough, but it can be rougher starting with no friends around. I'm speaking from experience. I had people around me, and I still found it very tough in my first three months, I would say. Just imagine if you're all alone. You're yet to understand all the principles, the protocols, the machine, the technology, everything they log into, everything they're logging into. Your passwords are even more, it's very confusing. And then you think you're not doing well. So a lot of things to catch up on. But if you have people around you, they take extra body from you. If it's auntie or whatever, if it's Manchester, Victoria can tell you, oh, this person can help you with the cooking. Bobby can say, oh, this house is empty. You and your family can stay there and then you can check houses. Bobby can tell you also to say, that area of Southport, don't live there, or there are no good schools there, because you will never know.
True.
You will never know until your child is in that school and people say, how did you go to that school? So thank you. Over to you, Bobby.
Very, very, very importantly, to avoid what we call culture shock, because you don't want to come into a place, and there's no support of any kind. So it's very, very important. A lot of people have had to relocate. This one of my wife's like younger brother had to relocate from where he was to Manchester because he was all alone there. He was all alone and he was going bonkers, and it's not very supportive to do that. So if you're going to a place, be careful. Just make sure you have all the information that you can get as much as you can. If you have any issues, just let us know. The little and the best we can do, we'll definitely pass this across to everybody. All right, just a few minutes to go. If there are no more questions, we'll begin to round up. But if at all you get to remember a question afterwards, just send your questions to Balosegha at yahoo.com. That's our email address, balosegha at yahoo.com. Very, very, very important. Just whatever questions you remember after now, just send it. We'll be more than happy to do that. Oyinda has just asked a question. I like your question. How many days before the start of my job would you advise I come to the UK? That's a very good one.
That's a good one. So I started my job on May 1st, but I arrived, I think, a week or two before that date. During that 1 week or two, I sorted out my accommodation. I looked around the hospital, walked around. I was able to do my occupational screening.
Okay.
So I'd seen most of the people I was going to work with. In fact, they allowed me to shadow for 1 day because I was yet to start. So that day was just like, I just want to come see how things work around. And people had known me. When I started, my colleagues who came just at the start had to be going up and down, up and down, up and down occupational health. And if you don't sort out the occupational health, you don't get your full contract. So I would say, if you need the money, make it 1 week to start dates. If you are not bothered at all, you can make it 2 weeks. You settle your accommodation, you walk around the hospital, you get to know people you're working with, start your occupational health by then. You might even finish everything, not under any stress or duress, and you'll be fine.
Sure.
Oh, Victoria, what do you say?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think I'll say the same thing. I wasn't fortunate to come early, and I think I came maybe 2 days or 1 day before, then had to go. Then you had to go and do ID check. So I had to do ID check in London and then go to my. So immediately I started work, I was placed on call on the first day. So it's not something that I would like other people to go through. So I think 2 weeks is a good idea, to be honest.
Also, as Victoria mentioned it, I sorted out my ID check in London GMC office with that one, with the 2 weeks before the start date, because I had passed PLAB a long time. I stayed in Nigeria, did some residency, then I opted out of the register. Then when I wanted to come to the UK, I only needed to reappear at the GMC office with my passport and show of face to be allowed back onto the register. So that 2 weeks, I sorted myself out. And I didn't have to be taking excuses at work to say, oh, tomorrow I need to study there, I need to go to GMC, they want to see me, or in between work, or time when you're supposed to be resting, you're going for occupational health, they're taking your blood, they're communicating with you, you're not sure where you are. So So I would say 1 or 2 weeks before the date, minimum 1 week.
Awesome. It's very, very important too. So I think that will be the last question for today. Yeah. Okay, Frank is thanking. Thank you, Frank Uche. We really appreciate that. Appreciate you all for coming today. Like we said, we will want to do this regularly, hopefully every 2 weeks. And should you have any question or whatever, just bring it on board. We said at the beginning there is no wrong question. There is no, stupid question. Ask what is on your heart. Only you know why you're asking that question, and we will do as much as possible to get the answers to you all. If you remember any other question after now, don't be afraid. Don't fret yourself, rather. Just send it to our email address. We will do our best to answer that as well. Thank you very much for patronizing Balosegha. Thank you for being ambassadors. Please continue the good work by spreading our good news as far as you can to everybody, and we would continually do our best to get you the best qualitative information, programs, and everything we can to us all. On behalf of Balosegha, I say thank you so much. We really appreciate. Keep an eye on the information. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch all the videos whenever you can, and we'll take it from here. Thank you so much. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks we'll do this again. All right, thank you so much. God bless you, and enjoy your weekend. Bye for now. Bye for now. Bye for now. Bye for now. Thank you all. Thank you, Aya. Thank you.